because we're almost closing the year, the 1st of December 2020. Now, I know most people out there have said this year has not come easy, and most people have gone like, it's been 20 years in 1 year. But thankfully, we have come to a finish, and it is seeming to be a very good finish. Thank you for being with us here at Universal Multipurpose Enterprises. You are watching us live on our Facebook live stream, as always, at about this time. Last week was incredible. We had some winners who are today going to be taking home a bit of 100,000 shopping vouchers, and we shall see who those people were later in this show. But we have another wonderful, incredible guest with us today. If you are watching us live, please do yourself a favor, do your friends a favor, and share this link to the various groups and to the various friends that you have. I have a beautiful lady with me today. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and then we shall take it on from there. But my name is Patience Ahumza, as always. Let's welcome our guest for the day.
My name is Dr. Faith Muyonga Namayengo. I'm a lecturer at Chambugo University.
Okay, yeah. We have an academic in the building. So, Doctor, today we look at, as always, we talk about condominium apartments. As always, we talk about how this concept has come into the country and has set Ugandans on fire, and it's really getting us to solve the housing deficit in the country at a very fast pace. But Doctor, it is still known that most Ugandans do not know about this condominium setting, about the condominium concept. Most of them want to still live in these standalone houses. Tell me, how did you come to know about the condominium concept in the country, being that it is such a young and baby concept?
Well, I must say that my getting to know about the condominiums concept was not introduced to me as a condominium concept, but a friend of mine, somebody whom I went to school with, one time we were having a conversation, and he told me that he had just finished paying for his apartment. And I was actually surprised, just like you said, because I didn't know that somebody could buy an apartment in Uganda. I knew that in Uganda you buy a piece of land, you mobilize resources, and you build. So I asked him to tell me more about it, and he told me about this company, Universal, that was building flats, and then they were selling them out to clients. So actually that was my very, very first contact with Universal. So I visited with him. I actually went with him to his apartment, and that's when I saw this beautiful block of flats. This gentleman, this OB of mine, when we were in school, was very famous for having very neat, he had a very neat room. And so when we went, I was very curious to know who had convinced him to actually, where he would actually buy an apartment. It really had to be something very unique. So I went over with him to his apartment, and actually it was one of the properties of Universal. It was finished, and when I reached there, I really thought it was a very good arrangement. His apartment was finished. Incidentally, it was a one-bedroom apartment, and then he took me around, and I was able to see the whole setup, the arrangement. I asked him about the payment plan. He told me about Universal, and I really became interested.
Okay, so that was your first, peek into seeing where the next investment was going to be.
Yes, actually, what intrigued me was that I saw an opportunity. I saw an opportunity when he told me, actually, the way I won't mention his name, but I think we're talking about we're doing something together, and then he said, guys, I don't have money, but I think he had just traveled somewhere and he had come back. He said, I don't have money. But you've just come back from a trip somewhere. He said, yeah, by the way, we told him, give us dollars. He said, no, the little money that I saved from there, I've used to pay up my apartment. I was like, what? You mean you can get money and pay for an apartment and not have to go through the hustle and bustle of buy land, supervise, buy material, supervise? I thought that was very neat. Actually, for me, that was one of the game changers. When he mentioned that he had just been somewhere, gotten some money, and that money had helped him to actually acquire a property. And I thought, wow, that's a good model. Because many times like personally, I would be interested in investing. But then the hustle and bustle of look for land, look for this and the other, have always kind of pushed me behind because the supervision is too much.
Yeah.
But this for me it looked like really an opportunity for me to a new angle of investment that I could look at. Yeah.
So because of that sort of testimony from your friend, there and then you decided, okay, you know what, let me start on an investment. Let me buy an apartment. Did you just buy it immediately, or did you take some time thinking about it, or was his testimony enough for you to say, you know what, he has done it, let me also do it? When was the step that you took to buying an apartment after you heard from him?
Well, after I saw his apartment, of course, I was curious. I asked him about the company that had sold to him the property. He told me about them. He told me about the director, and I went and I met with him, and we discussed. He showed me their plans and their objectives. He showed me all those artistic impressions of other properties. I didn't buy immediately, but I started finding out more about Universal and about exactly what they were doing and what was available.
So when did you buy? From that time, from the explanations and that you got from the director of the company, when did you make the decision of, let me buy this?
Do you mean from the time I met, my friend told me about it?
From your friend, because we have, Ugandans, we have got very many Bafedes in the country. So you tell someone, oh no, I am buying an apartment, or this, you give a testimony like how your friend did for you. But then it takes you months and months and months to actually decide and take this step. And the people who, you know what, this is there, oh no, it's a good investment, let me take it on right there and then. How long did that take for you
to tell you the truth, it didn't take me that long. One, I think the first one was the actual visit that I made to my friend's apartment. And the apartment was there, it was real. It was standing, it was not like he had not bought air, you know?
It was solid, you were seeing it was physical.
Yes, it was physical, it was there. And then when I went to, then I went to Universal, actually, I think I met with Fadali. And then we talked. And then I saw all the plans. He showed me the condominium titles. Actually, I must say that Mufadali introduced me to the condominium concept now. Because my friend had not even told me about condominium and the rest. He just told me I bought a flat. But now when I went, of course, to Mufadali, I had my list. You know, being a teacher, I had my
questions.
Yes, I had a list of questions. So tell me about you. So tell me about the condominium.
Yes.
So how do I pay? Where's my security?
You wanted to know where you're putting your money.
Yes. I remember he even stretched into I think he had a drawer and pulled out Yapa. I'm one of those people who believe in Chapa. So I really, that was also interesting when he told me that, oh, by the way, all the titles are here already with me. And then I actually remember taking one of the titles and looking through it to see is it really a legitimate document. But of course, now after that, I now went back to my friend and I asked him to take me through his process. Then he told me, yes, for him, he had even hired a lawyer. And he told me, oh, before I finalized the purchase, I have my lawyer, we've gone through everything. So it looks legit. Yeah, it looks legit. Yeah, so I said, well, let me think about it. Maybe I'll buy one of the properties. Yeah.
And you took your time and later you bought the apartment.
Yes, but of course, I don't know, you probably know there is nothing like you bought the apartment. you bid on an apartment. Yeah, because there is nothing like you buy. Because the way it works, the way Universal works is that when you take interest in an apartment, they will take you they show you the site, you probably know. You see the site, you see the artistic impressions, they show you maybe where your flat will be, but you don't really buy the apartment because it's not there in the first place. Two, I didn't have money to buy an apartment. I now just bidded on an apartment. I just said, well, and that was in 2018. That's when I said, I think I will begin depositing on an apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, maybe there are people who buy, but personally, I didn't have all the money. Yeah, but I knew, and that's now when they told me, deposit some money, then we begin building, and then you keep on what? You keep on paying with time. Yeah, so I can't say I bought the apartment, I must say I bid on an apartment, then I chose the apartment, went through that, selected the one I was bidding on, and then I started the journey of paying for the apartment.
Okay, that is one of the reasons that any other person out there would think to bid on Universal as a company because of how best it explained themselves to you, that they earned your trust and you're able to bid on that apartment.
Yes.
What could be some of the other reasons that you say, you know what, Universal is the right place for me to be and not another maybe company or not another firm? What made you more comfortable with the company of Universal Multipurpose Enterprises?
To tell you the truth, just like I said before, it was my meeting with my friend and then my meeting with Mufadala, with the director. Like I think, I don't know whether they still use that model, but the fact that I didn't have to, there were no middlemen. There wasn't, because when I went in like this, they took me to him. And he introduced him to me as this guy who was running this property. And in another life, I'm a businesswoman. There are things, other private things I do. I kind of liked that. Like I was dealing with a. It
was transparent, that's what you're trying to say.
I don't know.
Sorry for getting it wrong.
No. It was not really transparency. I was dealing with a decision maker. Yeah, that kind of, yeah. I was dealing with a decision maker. I was not dealing, so one of the things that many people are having difficulties with, especially when you try to buy these other properties, was that they will tell you, we have an apartment we are selling, our offices are here. You reach there, they tell you, they even tell you, a time we are not, sometimes we are not there. We'll come, we take you to the apartment. You don't even know the apartment owners. Like there is that, you're dealing with the middleman. So you don't even know whether along the way they are going to what? To cheat you.
Maybe you have a title there, if there is no title, basically you're
yes.
there.
So you're not with the final person. I think for me that was one of the issues. The fact that I dealt with, well, of course I still don't know that Mufadala is the final person, but I believe that he's up there in the what? In the ranks for Universal. So for me, that gave me that faith that I was working almost directly with the decision maker. Personally, in another life, I'm a decision maker. And I want to deal with decision makers and not middlemen. Yeah, because they mess you up. Before you know it, they've told you the land belongs to so and so. By the time you reach the owner or the decision maker, they've conned you along the way. So for me, I think that was one of the things. Then of course, like I said, the testimony of my friend. And for him, he told me, I'm taking you to the director. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
To you? Yeah. But I went directly to the
director.
Yes.
To the decision maker. Like
yes, actually to the decision maker. I'm not dealing with the many steps along the way. Yeah, because like I have tried to, there is somebody who was trying to buy an apartment and they also have this condominium kind of setting, but it was so difficult. Yeah, of course the other thing was the universal structure, because of course I didn't continue working with Mufadala alone. He handed me over to these young ladies, Maria, and they've also worked with me, and they are very transparent, and they are very structured, they are very, when you need them, they'll be there. I think that's another thing that that kind of efficiency, where you will tell them, Maria, I would like to come and look at my apartment. And they will tell you what time. Yeah.
Not postpone or today I'm going to buy them.
No, today we are not there. We need to make an appointment to come and see. But they will tell you, if I'm not there, so and so will be able to show you. I think that was another thing that kind of also made me very, very, very comfortable. I dealt with Noella, I dealt with Maria, but they were always there. And I'm a very structured person. I like structure in my things. So actually this morning when I came and I arrived, I was like, I hope I'm not going to see that time wheels out. But now when somebody comes and meets me and immediately brings me where I'm going to go, to me that was good. The fact that they had that structure, you go to, you say, oh, I would like to see. Then you tell them, okay, so you show them the chart. They show you the chart. This is your apartment. Then you ask them, explain to me, where does it face? And they're able to explain to you, yeah, it will face here. It will have this window. No, this won't face here. That also made me get confidence in Universal and in buying this apartment. But not the condominium yet. Not the condominium, because the condominium concept I got to know later. I mean, the whole
shared community, that's what you're trying to make.
The shared community thing is something I have discovered along the way, and I can share more.
It is not what you expected when you were actually taking on this bid of an apartment. Because I believe when your friend took you to his apartment, it was a condominium setup.
Yes, it was a condominium setup, but remember, it's a new thing in Uganda. So even when you see this apartment block and there are many owners, you don't really know what it means at that point in time.
So I will take some time to ask you what it has come to mean for you now in time after you've actually experienced it.
Yeah.
What the challenges have been and what you've actually gotten out of this condominium, and if you'd actually advise someone else out there to take the step into invest in this type of setup.
Okay.
But I have also been very impressed by Dr. Faith. When I came to this interview, I didn't expect, you said at first you didn't want to go personal, but now I feel like I've put so much from you. The confidence that you have put in the company, in Universal, and the trust even means overwhelming for me right now. So if you're out there and you have a person who needs to take on this kind of investment or is looking for some sort of real estate investment, I think Dr. Faith would be the right person to go to, and I think you are on the right platform right now. Please do keep with us. My name is Patience, and later do not forget we have people receiving 100,000 shopping vouchers. I will get back.
Welcome to Pigeon Residence in Muyenga. With a beautiful lake view and modern amenities like a swimming pool, clubhouse, parking space, cinema theater, and a 24-hour lift service. At only 172 million for one bedroom, 286 million for two bedrooms, and 353 million for three bedrooms, with a condominium Miloland title. To book, call 0757 878 448 or 0776 015 352. Don't miss this chance to own a home with Universal Affordable Housing. Swan Residence, a home away from the city located along Chireka-Namugongo Road, with a beautiful modern structure and a condominium Miloland title, swimming pool, clubhouse, security, 24-hour lift service, parking, and a relaxing view of the city. For only 115 million, booking is ongoing. We are located at Plot 36B, Katalimba Crescent, Ntinda 2 Road. You can reach us on 0757 878 448 or 0776 015 352 or visit our website at www.affordablehousing.ug.
Well, thank you so much for being with us and for continuing to watch us here on the live stream at Affordable Housing Uganda. My name is Patience and I am Dr. Faith, one of the people that have supported Universal Multipurpose Enterprises. She has shared her story with us, and she's continuing to let us know about how to go about investing in a condominium apartment. So, Doctor, we're still talking about the condominium concept, and you said something like, I am still learning, or I got to learn the condominium concept after I was into it and while I was into it. What did that mean, and how has it been like for you?
Yeah. When you buy a condominium apartment, it's of course it's an individual apartment, but under collective responsibility, under collective ownership. So, for example, you have a group of owners who come together, and everybody gets their small bit about it, and that has many advantages, of course, in that the facility has collective utilities, things like garbage collection. You don't have to do it alone. Things like there is always collective security. Like unlike a situation where you go out to buy a piece of land and you're creating your own micro environment, the whole condominium setup has already given you that collective setup. So you already have neighbors. It's an organized neighborhood. The facilities have already been put there by the company, the fencing and everything. And all those are very, very positive. like issues like security as ours, they are really supposed to be much better than if you bought a piece of land in a village somewhere. You have to put up your own security. Maybe sometimes in the village you're the only one with a wall and everybody else doesn't have a wall, or you're the only one with a I mean, you don't even know how to get rid of your garbage because you bought your own small. You don't even have a garbage disposal system because you bought your 50 by 100 plot, and then you're like, where am I going to take my garbage? And maybe there is no one to work with in the community to be dealing with all those services. So that's really the beginning of a journey together as a condominium. But now the reality is, all those are there, but now when it comes down to now organizing the people that, and this is probably one of the things that I would like to tell anybody who would like to get into a condominium arrangement, that you should understand from the beginning that you're buying a property that you're going to share. There are going to be very many shared amenities with other people, and that means there should be collective responsibility. So as one buys a condominium, they should remember that they are not buying their own 50 by 100 in a village where they are the sole people. So you have to know that I'm living with other people. Yeah. So I think that's one thing that anybody who would like to buy should know. So if you're not interested in living with other people, then the condominium is not for you. Because definitely being in a condominium means having neighbors all the time. Means the gate opening all the time and people entering whom you don't know. But they're still your neighbors and they all have a right to be in that neighborhood. In that neighborhood. So you really have to, first of all, come with that individual responsibility of knowing I'm going to be part of a social setup, but I'm supposed to do my part to make the living environment better for everyone and for myself. Yes, because it's now no longer about you alone, it's about you and other people. Yeah, so as soon as because you're supposed to set up a condominium corporation where all the owners are supposed to come and sign and agree that we, the owners of this property, are going to work together to make our living environment comfortable for everyone. So those are some of the things that you'll discover along the way. When they just give you the condominium document, it's a lot of jargon and things. But now when it comes to forming the corporation, that's when you realize that it's going to be work. It's going to be work, just like you work in your own home. Just like you take care of your security. Just like you take care of your garbage. Just like you take care of everything. Even in a condominium, you're supposed to do that. Yeah, because some people think that because I belong to a condominium, then I'll just be in my small unit.
And then I will not care for the other entities around me.
Yes.
So it should not be like that.
No. It's not like that. You're supposed to know that even if there is that inherent collective security, but you have to play a part. It won't just come to you on a silver plate. The gate still has to be kept closed. It's one gate for everybody, but it still has to be kept closed. Otherwise, everybody will just be getting it. There is a swimming pool, and you have a right to it, but it still has to be cleaned. And who is going to clean it? All of you, the owners, have to to clean it. Yeah. So those dynamics have to be worked on, and I think that's one of the things that Universal really has to explain it to the people who are buying the condominiums, so that they don't have this romantic idea that all I need to do is to buy my apartment and then I go away and everything will set up. Because you're supposed to set up a corporation, and as a corporation of owners, just like you have your house, and you're in charge of your security, and you're in charge of your environment, it's the same thing in the condominium. But there is no other person. Because after you have bought the apartment, Universal hands over. It hands over to you, the owners, to the association of exactly, and it pulls out completely. So I think sometimes this is one thing that I would request Universal to explain more to the people as they can. That at a certain point in time, we shall hand over. But when we hand over, you will be responsible for your property. We won't be there. we won't be there. Because for them, they are developers. They come and build and they go away. And you, the owners, stay. And that means that even as you come in, come with that intention that I'm going to stay in this facility with other people and I'm going to make it work. And it can work, but everybody has to be committed to it. Especially now when it comes to like paying the management fees. Because there are many owners and we have collective amenities, security, lighting, fire extinguishers, cameras, the lift service. Those are, Universal will hand them over to you when they are functional. But how are you going to maintain them? That maintaining them will require every individual member, every individual owner to know that I'm part of this. I think Universal needs to do more on that.
To explain to the clientele that you know what, from this stage you have responsibility and so it's going to move in this way. So
Yes.
be ready for this type of movement.
Be ready for this kind of movement and be ready to be part of it. You know when you come, I think Universal is doing very well on the marketing. They come, they tell you about it, but also on the delivery. Of course, they will hand over the property. I've also seen them, they deliver, they'll give it to you. But that afterwards, nobody prepares you for it. So they need to do more preparation of the owners to know exactly.
They need to prep the owners more what to expect.
Of what to expect, and even get more commitment from them. Maybe there should be a session in which when somebody is going to buy, you tell them about all the advantages and the responsibility. Your responsibility as an owner in a condominium. Because that's one of the challenges that we've had in one of the apartments where the owners sometimes, I know Universal may not want this to be aired, but I hope they can warn people that sometimes the owners feel like all I need to do is to buy.
But it doesn't stop there.
All I need to do is to go buy my things. After all, I can come and close my apartment and go away. But it is more than that. And I would think that maybe if Universal had maybe sessions for people who are about to complete their payment, and then they meet with them and they take them through the orientation, so that people don't come without having sometimes a complete picture.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Faith, for that very detailed information. Even for people who are out there and are watching this, you now know what to look out for. When you're getting into buying a condominium apartment, you know how to look out for. Dr. Faith, tell us more about people that have been scared to take this step. You know, you let them know about the advantages and taking on this type of investment, and they still are fearing to take on the investment. What advice would you give to those people who haven't yet come on board for this type of investment?
You mean, what are their reasons? Is it because they don't have the money? Because of course...
Some might actually have the money. You know, when we began this conversation, I asked you, how long did it take you to make the decision? Even when you had maybe had a bit of money to make a bid of investment, but you were still scared of taking the step, I asked you, how long did it take you to actually take the step? So there are people out there who would love to take on this step, but for some reason they still are just a bit scared, fearing, for many various reasons. What advice would you give to them to tell them, you know what, it is a great investment, back out from this fear and take on the step?
Well, for sure, one thing that the biggest fear that we have, especially as Ugandans, is tutya abafere. Because like me as a woman, I would like to invest. I would like to save. Actually, for me, buying the apartment and for many people, it's a way of saying, let me have my project. The little money that I get, I keep on.
It's also a business. You said you were a businesswoman, so it's sort of. Are you trying to say it's also a business concept?
No. For me, it's not a business concept. It's a saving. It's a way of saving. It's a way of having a goal and working towards it. It's a way of having. yeah, this for me, it's having a purpose. It's having a
Not
purpose.
something you're chasing.
Yes, it's having a purpose. To me, I take it like that because before I started saving, I would say saving with Universal, you would work, and at the end of the year,
You don't see what the money has done.
yeah, you don't see what the money has done for you. It keeps on
Going.
Yeah, very many, because there is this, you give, there's this, you give, you know. So for me, having this gives me a purpose. Like at the time when I was paying for my apartment, it means that during that time, I work very hard. I save a lot because I know it's like Bamanja, University Manja. I need to pay. So any opportunity that I get to work, I work. Any opportunity that I get to invest, I will invest, even if I'm getting a little money out of it, so that I can put on this on my apartment. Yeah, and I think for me that purpose is, so for anybody out there who has a similar longing like me, who would like to invest, who would like to save, who would like to have a tangible project that you're working with, I would say this can work. And I think the confidence that I have gained with Universal, and I hope they will continue like that, that when I was buying my apartment, it was just a site. When I picked it, it was just
plan. There was
just a plan and the land. And even when I picked I couldn't even point to where my unit was. And so they dig the foundation when you're seeing it, and then you actually see your project kind of growing. And what I would say is, as far as Universal is concerned, and I would say for now, because I don't know that they will change, I would say for now they deliver. So you'll give them your money, and you keep on, paying small installments. But at the end of the day, when you come back to look at the site, the building is going up. The building is going up, and they keep on sharing these updates. One time you come, they're just digging the foundation, and the next time you come, the first floor is done, the second floor is done. They are now putting in fixtures. Yeah, and I think that's what I would say for Universal, that it kind of, for now, they deliver. I think because if the people are buying, at least my fellow colleagues in the condominium where I am, people bought. And they did it like me. They put their little money, I don't know, maybe others put, but we kept on paying, and when we paid up, they handed over our property. So I think that's something that I would like to say, especially people out there who are still trying to make up their decision about universal properties, that they do deliver. They do deliver. I bidded on my flat when it was at foundation level. They kept on sharing pictures with me. They started doing the plumbing, the painting, and eventually they handed it over. So, and I would say, personally, I have a personal testimony that this works. I think that's all I can say.
Okay. That was very impressive, Dr. Faith. Thank you so much for being with us on the set. Now that was Dr. Faith, a lecturer at Chapel University, sharing with us the story of the steps she got into getting her apartment today. Today I learned something new, that I always call this an investment. I always call it real estate investment. But to her, now she had some other way of describing this, and then she said it was a savings for her. No one would ever think real estate can actually be a saving. And she also said she didn't buy, she was bidding. Depositing a little amount of money, chasing something at the end of the day, and probably right now as we speak, she already has what she saved up that money for. Well, this has been a very beautiful set with Dr. Faith here. I'm very privileged and honored to have hosted you today. And do not go anywhere. We are going to be giving out the shopping vouchers from last week from people that won their gifts and many other gifts and many other, things that we have here to give out to these people. Please do not go anywhere. Keep on the show. I am still with you up to the very end. I will see you after this break.
Welcome to Peacock Residency, one of the tallest buildings in Nigeria with modern amenities like a swimming pool, gym, jogging track at only 172 million for a 2-bedroom, 189 million for a 3-bedroom with a condominium Milo title. For more information, contact us on 0757 878 443 or 0776 015 352. Visit our website at www.affordablehousing.ug. Our offices are located in Naguru Plot 36B Catalima Crescent, Ntinda 2 Ward.
From Universal Multipurpose Enterprises Limited,
Yes.
and I hereby hand over to you this voucher. Thanks for supporting Universal Affordable Housing.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks so much, the Universal Multipurpose Enterprise. I'm so excited that I won my Christmas voucher. I encourage other people, to participate and do the same. Things are real, they are real. And actually, I would like to say that you have reasonably covered almost 70% of my Christmas budget. I feel so excited. Thanks so much.